Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and for this one, gonna be reviewing another one of my all-time favorite Disney slash Pixar films. Now, number 1 being Monsters, Inc., number 2 being The Incredibles, number 3 being Toy Story 2, number 4 being Monsters University, number 5 being Brave, number 6 being Ratatouille, and now, for number 7, it's A Bug's Life. Yep, A Bug's Life. What can you say about A Bug's Life? Well, I gotta say, it's really good. It's fantastic. Everything about it is great. Because, ever since Pixar, they started making their movies, etc., and after a couple years after Toy Story, they started working on their next film about bugs. And even say that whole thing, the whole controversy or comparisons with A Bug's Life and ants. Need I bring that up? And with Jeffrey Katzenberg, well, who cares? It doesn't matter. Let's just talk about the movie. So basically, so Bug's Life, everything about it is fantastic, from the animation to the sets, and with its widescreen, organic, everything else to it, fantastic. And the story, everything else. Of course, with Flick, he's like a good inventor or something like that. And I think also at least one of the ants, Dot, does like Flick and his inventions. And then Flick, he causes a little bit of trouble, he accidentally knocks off where the ants leave the food and such for the grasshoppers. It goes down into the water, and of course the grasshoppers, and with Hopper, get pissed off, so where is it? Where's my food? And so, of course, Hopper, gives them a deal, or something like that, I forget what it is, how it goes, but that until the last leaf falls, that's when, they'll return if they have, and with them doing the food, etc., and that's when, Flick has an idea that they should get that they need warrior bugs to help them and to defeat the grasshoppers, and Flick goes off, tries to find warrior bugs. What he finds instead is a bunch of circus bugs. And yeah, from the circus bugs are fantastic. You name it, from Heimlich, the German caterpillar, Francis, the ladybug, Slim, the stick bug, Manny, the mantis, Gypsy, the moth, Rosie, the spider, Tuck and Roll, Dim, the beetle, or whatever it is, I can't remember. But and of course their boss, P.T. Flea. And flaming death, and they get fired after a little bit of an accident, but it turns out the bugs that they're watching, they enjoyed it, and, burn them again! And of course, Flick comes across them in Bug City, and of course, that shot where we see a trailer and the Peace Plan truck, in which we would see in Monsters, Inc. Maybe it is, maybe A Bug's Life is in the same world with Monsters, Inc., who knows, that's a theory and such, and that kind of stuff, so, but, anyways, and so, Flick mistakes them as warriors, and, you're perfect! Will you please help me? And, they go back to Ant Island, and amazing! This is too good to be true! And so, as they go back and such, and then they introduce themselves, there's a little bit of a party, a celebration, even Francis, I remember, we are gonna knock them dead! Thinking that they're about to entertain or put on an entertainment or show or something, and that whole sequence, and with that, what the kid ants do, for a class project, drawing and such, and oh, look at the beautiful colors of the blood. Well, do you want to be dying? Because our teacher said we'd be more dramatic, Heimlich being cut in half, and Heimlich's reaction, hilarious, and that part, and with, Mr. Soil, if I'm saying this, voiced by the one and only Roddy McDowall. I tell you a tale, of however he said it, but, And that whole scene, like, we are the Grasshoppers, where's our food? We are the warriors, here to defend you! And it, like, fades and translates, you know, like, a little bit later. Die! 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 Ugh. So, even Francis, he kind of faints, you know? And, like, Tuck and Roll, they enjoyed it. You know, thank you, thank you. And then as Flick is speaking and such, you know, that's when the Circus Bugs get its attention, that saying that they're Circus Bugs, and that camera that, like, zooms in so fast into Flick and, like, you know, Your Highness, you know. And then he gets the Circus Bugs and they have a little conversation. Circus Bugs? How can you be Circus Bugs, you know? And that cool sequence with the bird chase, like the bird attack or whatever, it was really good, you know? And also, yeah, and like Heimlich, yo, Mr. Earlybird, how about a nice juicy Wurst on a stick, or however he says it. And Slim trying to hold him, I'm gonna snap, you know? Also, like, you know, Francis, he got a bit injured, and, like, also later, yeah, and Francis, he saved Ada, part of this, oh god, Ladybug Club, or I forget the name of it, but, you know, jeez. But anyway, so, and they consider Francis as a mother to them, you know. But anyways, and that's when Flick gets an idea, because Hopper is afraid of birds, and that's what they get an idea of building a giant bird, you know. And they, when the Grasshoppers return, they'd scare them off, etc. And then we cut, and yeah, that montage of them building the bird is pretty cool, and with also cutting to Francis and the junior club or something like that, you know, the Scouts. Blueberry Scouts? I think it's the Blueberry Scouts, yeah. With Francis and the Blueberry Scouts, and also, of course, that famous line from Heimlich, you know, oh, look, I'm a beautiful butterfly, you know. And also we come to the Grasshoppers, I think out in the desert, because hence we see a cactus and a sombrero, that's where the Grasshoppers are living in, sombrero, like their headquarters or something, I don't know how you put it, and mosquitoes being their servants or whatever, and I think I heard something like, basically, they used a family of mosquitoes as their servants. I don't know, but just, you know, and like Hopper, like, you know, that speech he gives, you know, those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1, and if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? And Mulch, you know, he's quite the motivational speaker, ain't he? Yeah, and Mulch, he's a pretty funny character in there as well. And even Thumper, of course, you know, kind of a wild grasshopper. Even I remember that Andrew Stanton, even I heard him in the commentary, said that he couldn't believe that they stole the name Thumper from another Disney movie. Hence Thumper the rabbit from Bambi. So, you know, and the music that's played for the Grasshoppers, you know, as they ride is really good. I really love that piece of music. And of course, we cut back to Ant Island. They're partying and such, and then P.T. Flea comes in. And, you know, it's revealed that their identity, they're revealing them the Circus Bugs have been given out, and, like, Flick being blamed on again. Then Ada, because it seemed like during that, because Ada and Flick started growing, their relationship growing and such, attached, etc., you know, and then it all stops, etc., because when it was revealed that they're Circus Bugs, Flick screwed up, you know. And then Ada, a bit heartbroken, upset, you know, I want you to leave, Flick, and this time, don't come back, you know. And Flick and the Circus Bugs leave, and that's when the Grasshoppers come in. They pretty much invade Ant Island, you know, and Hopper, you know, not one ant sleeps until we get every scrap of food on this island. And Mulch, like, just do what he says. You don't want to make him mad, believe me. And yeah, Mulch made that point. He made that clear. Of course, Ada, she alerts Flick and the Circus Bugs, and then they go back, and of course, those cool scenes, you know, and where the Circus Bugs are putting on a show, distracting Grasshoppers as Flick and the Blueberry Scouts, they make their way to the bird, and that cool scene where the bird is they control they control the bird that flies, you know. And then it's revealed when P.T. Flea he's you know stupidly sets the bird on fire and gives away, you know, the bird and such that's fake, etc. And Hopper, you know, pissed off and everything else, you know. And Flick giving that good speech, you know, ants are not meant to serve grasshoppers. I've seen these ants do great things, you know. It's you who need us, etc. And Hopper's almost about to kill him, like literally squash him. That's when Ada steps in. And that's when all the ants, they fight off against the grasshoppers, you know. And so, you know, that's when all the grasshoppers flee. And when Hopper almost about to be shot from the cannon, that's when the rain comes in, which is really cool. And then Hopper, he snatches Flick. The circus bugs go after him. They fail, but then Ada saves Flick. And that's when they make their way to the bird's nest. And when Flick, you know, like, you know, stay here. I've got an idea. Flick, what are you doing? And then Hopper comes in. You think it's over? No, I can explain. All you did was, you know, buy them ties, or however he said. And then those words that Hopper gives, I'll get more grasshoppers and be back next season, as he strangles him. And he's like, but you won't. And that face he has, everything, it shows how evil Hopper is. You know what I'm saying? Right there, when he gives out, that dialogue he gives, and as he strangles him in his face, it shows how evil Hopper is, you know? And of course, Hopper's defeat, really good, because he gets defeated by the birds, you know, from the mama bird into the baby birds, you know? Yeah, just really good, you know? And funny at the same time. And of course, the ending to it is very nice. You know, everything's happy. Like, I think spring weather and such comes in, yeah. And of course, we see that Mulch actually, you know, he's still there and he's joining the Circus Bugs. I think he's their manager or something. I don't know. I can't remember. And of course, you know, like Rosie says, you know, well, Flick, you really goofed up. Thanks. And like, yeah, you know, and they all clap for Flick. Ada kisses Flick on the cheek, and that's when Ada becomes queen, Dot becomes princess, you know, PT gets a little teary-eyed, and, oh, we're out of here, you know, and we see Heimlich, you know, finally, I'm a beautiful butterfly, Heimlich, you've got to start to learn to fly, you know, but I am, and from here you all look like little ants, happy to share, you know, bye. And of course, with the movie ending, perfect, you know, really good music, and as the camera pans out of Ant Island as Flick, Ada, and Dot are waving. We see the circus bugs flying as they get out of the screen. We see the tree. The entirety of Ant Island then shows the words "The End." Boom, the movie ends. We see shots of like the dandelion, the grounds, etc. as the credits roll, and as Randy Newman's song "The Time of Your Life" plays, and even the bloopers play, which they're really good too. It was the first Disney Pixar film to have outtakes. In fact, I remember John Lasseter said in the commentary that they did have that planned for the first Toy Story film, but they didn't have time to do that because they were finishing up the film, etc. They didn't have time to do that. And then when it came to A Bug's Life, that's when they did that. And from that to Toy Story 2 and Monsters, Inc., you know, they did bloopers and such. So, you know. Yeah, so, yeah, with all that said, A Bug's Life, it's a really great film. You know, a Disney Pixar film. And for it being Pixar's second feature, you know. And yet a year later, they'd make another great film, which was Toy Story 2. So, anyways, so for A Bug's Life, well, I give it 10 out of 10 stars. It's fantastic. It's a really great film. The animation, the story, the organic, the sets, everywhere they went, everything about it is fantastic, definitely. So, with all that being said, again, 10 out of 10 stars for A Bug's Life. You guys let me know what you think about A Bug's Life, etc. Hope you enjoyed this review video. More new review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video /review video. Take care, and peace out.